Hey, this is Brandon Cruz from Dr. No, and you're listening to the RockStop with Contra.
And welcome into the RockStop. Chris Contra here. Joining me on the show tonight will be Brandon Cruz. He appeared alongside the late, great Bill Bixby, starting at the very young age of around 6 in the classic sitcom The Courtship of Eddie's Father. He played little Eddie on that show, and he is, of course, also the frontman of the punk band Dr. No. How's it going, Brandon?
Going well, Chris. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Appreciate you being here.
My pleasure.
So going kind of chronologically here, the role of Eddie that you got in The Courtship of Eddie's Father, that was originally based off of a book, right? And then it became a movie starring Ron Howard.
The novel by Mark Tobey was from the 50s, and Mark had a kid named Eddie, and he wrote that kind of about his life. It was like kind of a reflection on how he was a single dad.
Right.
And it was, you know, it was based on a lot of real stuff.
Yeah.
So then they did the movie, and the movie then got, I think Jimmy Comack, the producer of Eddie's Father, got to go ahead to write a script, do a pilot. I got the part. In 68, we filmed the pilot in MGM Studios in Culver City. And by early 1969, we were filming and premiered on ABC in 69 and went off the air in 72.
Yeah, so it was an early part of your life there, which definitely it caught on with audiences. And you know, when people look back on that show these days, I mean, a lot of people look at it as a very genuine show. The relationship between you and Bill Bixby was something that really warmed a lot of hearts.
You know, he was a very important person to me as a role model, as a friend. As we got older, you know, he passed away way too young from prostate cancer at the age of 59. You know, that was in 93. I've always wanted to honor Bill in some way, and about 3.5 years ago, I came up with the idea of getting him a star on the Hollywood Boulevard Walk of Fame. And little did I know, there's a ton of drama and bullshit and fucking just, you got to deal with the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, who are not an easy group of people to get along with.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot
They told me I couldn't. They told me, well, most celebrities get them because they have movies coming out or TV shows coming out or they're still alive. We give 2 a year to dead people, you know, honorary, but, you know, the family has to be involved, and you're not family. Huge honor it used to be. They used to give them to people who deserved them, and Bill deserves one.
Oh, absolutely. Not only did he do The Courtship of Eddie's Father with you, he was also in My Favorite Martian before that, and of course The Incredible Hulk, which is one of the greatest TV series I think ever based off of a comic book. And that was because of how Bixby portrayed David Banner. I mean, it would have been easy to go over the top with that show, but he played that guy so authentic. He was the everyman, even though he was like this brilliant scientist. He was incredibly relatable.
Bixby was an awesome guy, and he deserves that.
Yeah.
But so many people are getting these stars that these, you know, the Kardashians got stars. I mean, come on.
No, I completely agree with you. I mean, it's,
you know, Bixby was on Danny Thomas Show, My Favorite Martian, Eddie's Father, The Magician, Goodnight Beantown, The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He did 2 Elvis movies. I mean, the guy, he directed Blossom. He did a whole bunch of really crazy stuff with Roseanne Barr. And I mean, you know, he did everything. He directed, he acted, he was a dramatic actor. And he played a murderous nun on Streets of San Francisco. I mean, he was a badass.
Yeah.
Nicest guy in Hollywood.
Now, your acting career was short, just a brief time there in your early years. You know, it was memorable, but brief. Did you want to get out of the industry? Were you not enjoying it anymore?
I have a great distaste for Hollywood. I'm not a big fan of it. Some guest spots Kung Fu Medical Center, Gunsmoke, blah, blah, blah. And I did Bad News Bears. And then I got into punk rock and skateboarding and drugs and girls and never looked back. That damn Eddie thing follows me everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just people can't stop. And on one hand, it's like, yeah, great. It gave me a start. It got me some sort of notoriety, but I really wanted it when I was little. Like my family was a little, the whole family life was a little crazy. I grew up on a little beach in Oxnard, California, just a little surf spot.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of wanted to not be there. And then as soon as I got to Hollywood, I just went, what have I got myself into?
Yeah.
This is, like, being famous is fucking gnarly. It's crazy. As I got older, I was like, okay, I can deal with this. And when I was all fucked up on drugs, I was like, okay, I can milk this. It's like, oh, I got a drug driving. I can call the National Enquirer and sell them the story.
Wow, so you actually wanted to live off your previous fame even when you got in trouble just for a few bucks from the tabloids.
Yeah, but it got pathetic because Bonaducci and Butch Patrick and a few other people had sold so many stories to them of them getting arrested, they wouldn't even buy my story. Well, Bonaducci was a big hustler back in the day, and he kind of dominated the bad child actor, genre.
Yeah.
So he cornered that market. He bled all those guys dry. There's nothing left for the rest of us. But that's fine. That's good. I was only from like age 6 until 13 really on TV or in a movie or something that people could see. But it went into reruns and a lot of the shows I did started coming out on VHS and then DVD and then digital releases, and it's still out there.
Right.
I mean, you can go to YouTube and watch almost every Eddie's Father episode.
Yeah.
The song was damn catchy. Harry Nilsson sang it. Harry became a good friend. I've been in bands since 1979 or so. I got together with Harry a couple of weeks before he died, recorded some stuff. He got all fired up, saying, I want your band to open for me. I want to tour. He'd never toured. He never played live, or if he did, barely.
Yeah.
Like a couple of times. And, and he was good friends with Ringo and Mickey Dolenz. And through Harry, I got to meet like these big rock stars because they would come visit the set, and I'd like poke my head in a limo and they'd say, hey, who are you with, Harry? And it's like, that's Keith Moon.
Yeah.
That's John Lennon. I met the Beatles through him. I met, guys in Led Zeppelin and the Who, and just, I'm a little kid just going, fuck, these are the people I listen to.
Right.
I was more excited to meet them than I was Elvis. I wasn't a big Elvis fan. My mom thought that was awesome. But
he was friends with Bill, right?
Yeah. Bill had done a couple of Elvis movies, but to me it was a big deal when Sammy Davis Jr. showed up to do an episode of Eddie's Father, or Harry Nilsson showed up with Keith Moon, or with Eric Clapton, or whoever he was with, Joe Cocker. My first gig in, I think it was 1969. Leon Russell, Joe Cocker, the Mad Dogs and Englishmen tour at Santa Monica Civic. I was like 7 years old, maybe. And backstage was Pamela DeBar and the girls, the GTOs, the girls getting together outrageously. I think Rodney Bingenheimer was back there.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, Pamela was topless. I'm like a little kid. But it was an experience, but then being famous was not the greatest experience. Like, I went away to school or to film, and when I came back to school, the kids I'd grown up with, well, the principal called my family in and said, Brandon can't go out in the yard, can't go out on the playground. I was like, why? What do you mean? Like, I'm here, I want to see my friends. Said, well, half of the school wants his autograph, but the other half want to beat him up. They didn't understand. They were calling me millionaire and movie star, and I was trying to explain to them, I don't make $1 million, and I don't star in a movie. I'm a co-star on a TV show. I think they thought that was a little, too wordy for a first grader.
Right.
So, the older kids wanted to beat me up because the girls liked little Eddie, and it's just a mess.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. So as soon as I found drugs, I was like, okay, check me out, take me away, and I was off and running.
So you certainly don't endorse kids wanting to get into show business, right?
Oddly enough, my daughter did some commercials when she was like 11, 12, and then kind of didn't like it. And now my daughter is an amazing actress and just signed on, I can't say what, but she just signed a 7-year contract with one network. She's on a 2-year contract with somebody else. She did an episode of the Stephen King show Castle Rock on Hulu. Season 2, episode 5 is my daughter, Ruby Cruz, and she just did an episode of Blue Bloods with Tom Selleck and that hot woman that plays Selleck's daughter. She was in the scene with her. I was like, oh my God, you got to meet her? Dude, you're an actor. I'm like, Ruby, I'm not an actor. You're an actor. You're the actor in the family. No, like, I'm a little starstruck because that woman is beautiful. And Tom Selleck, I'm like, come on, Ruby, you're on a TV show with fucking Magnum.
Yeah.
It's like, who? Because he's only 19. But you know, they're flying her all over the world to meet people and audition, and she's killing it. But she did not get any help from me. I have no connections in Hollywood. People still ask me, how do I get my kid on TV? I don't know. I really despise Hollywood, but my daughter knows my whole story, and she's doing it for the reasons that she has. I'm proud of her. I support her. And if she has a lifelong career, good for her. If she gets sick of it and says, I don't want to do this anymore, I totally support that too.
A little earlier, you mentioned that you got addicted to drugs right around the time you were kind of becoming jaded with show business. How long would you say you had that drug problem for?
Probably from the age of 8 till 34. I mean, I dabbled in, snuck beers and stuff and puffed little joints, little roaches and stuff when I was a little kid. I mean, hell, I grew up across the street from Frank Zappa for a little while and in Laurel Canyon, and, it was quite the hippie scene, and, went to a lot of concerts, and, the adults just thought it was cute. And I was kind of a famous kid, so I kind of got away with a lot of shit that I probably shouldn't have. Because either nobody was watching or everybody was watching. And I didn't get told no a lot, which was a blessing and a curse. So at 34, I didn't want to have my son not have a dad, and I didn't want to be without a wife, and it kind of came down to that. I just wanted to live. Like, I probably wouldn't have seen 35.
So, I mean, without any rehab or anything like that, you just made the decision right then and there?
I didn't go to rehab. I had a bunch of people that I knew who were sober who came and helped me, and that kind of gave me an idea. That's how this whole thing works, is getting somebody that understands, that's been there, that can help you through it. As soon as I knew, and I knew it was a problem, and I knew it was affecting other people around me, I decided to do something about it. And I got sober like the next day that my wife told me, like, this is it. You got to stop. And it doesn't always work that way for some people.
Oh, yeah.
Some people really want to stop, and they can't. I know why I was able to stay sober for 23 years. It's because I did what was suggested to me by people who were sober about how they did it. But not everybody's that way. Not everybody has that opportunity, or not everybody has that. I don't think it's even willpower. I think it's just you either accept it, because there's two things drug addicts and alcoholics and anybody who suffers from addiction hates. They absolutely hate change, and they hate the way things are. If you're willing to just stay with the way things are, which is pretty shitty and miserable, then you're not really going to get sober. If you're willing to change, and by change I mean like fucking change everything. Like, I took a year and did nothing but concentrate on doing what I needed to do to not get fucked up.
How bad were the urges?
Once I detoxed, 3 weeks of puking, shitting, and sweating, and losing 40 pounds and stuff, because I didn't go to a doctor, and I didn't have a detox doctor or medication or anything. I just did it.
Yeah.
It was stupid. It was dangerous, because of what I was coming off of.
Right.
But I got through it, and once I got through that, I was like, wow, well, okay, do I ever want to feel like that again? No. I started getting along with people better. I wasn't such a piece of shit to people. People actually wanted to be around me, and I was able to stay married, watch my son grow, have another child 5 years later, have a daughter, get get in a band, get the band back together, tour, work, be, a productive person.
And talking about getting the band back together, that is the band Dr. No that you joined in the early 80s. You've had some hiatuses, you've had some breaks, but now are you guys back together, or?
I couldn't always get the guys from Dr. No to come over, and at one point, the guy who founded Dr. No, the main guy, but it was a punk band. Everybody was involved, and everybody wrote songs, and everybody contributed, but he was the main guy. Kind of went in a legal direction, and we were told it's trademarked and copywritten, so you can't use Dr. No anymore. So in the States, we shortened it to No. Because Keith Morris from Black Flag and Circle Jerks was sitting behind me. I think I was in Montreal at a festival, and he overheard me talking to somebody about, oh yeah, we can't use Dr. No anymore. And he just leans over and he goes, why don't you call it No? Like Flag. Oh, fuck, that's what you guys did with Black Flag. You just called it Flag.
Yeah.
And you don't have Greg Ewan, you have Steve Eggerson from The Descendants. And besides that, it's all members of Black Flag from certain different lineups, all coming together to play the punk rock music of Black Flag. No theremin, no whatever the fuck. Mike G's friend, good for him, he's a singer of Black Flag now, but I don't know. It died when Henry started singing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Keith and Dez and Ron were the guys, and Henry did what Henry did, and bless Henry's little heart. He's Henry, but right. SOA was a much better band for him. I felt, my personal opinion, a lot better than what he did in Black Flag, except for like maybe Slip It In and Black Coffee and Damaged. Yeah, okay, I do like a little bit of it. But turning Dr. No into No. We go to Europe, we tour, we play the Discharge, and we have our T-shirts out there, and people are like, what is this No? Where's Dr. No?
Yeah.
You just played all their songs. It's like, oh, fuck, well, we can't call it that. And by the time we got to Rebellion in England, this big punk festival, this 3-day festival, the guy comes up and he says, give me your logo. We project it. I get a JPEG off the internet and project it onto the back of the stage. And I said, fucking use Dr. No. Just Google Dr. No and use the image.
Yeah.
And boom, we're back to Dr. No. Then we get back to the States and we find out that the trademark and copyright had just gone away. They hadn't paid it. A series of payments you have to make, and they missed like the second payment.
So you're back to Dr. No.
We kind of all decided after playing a few more shows as No to just say, you know what? We are all members of this band. At one time or another, we've come together to play the punk rock music of Dr. No, because it kind of went off in a little bit more of a crossover metal direction with Kyle and me and Ismail. Ismail is the co-founder of the band, and it will never be No or Dr. No or whatever we choose to call it without Ismail there, because he was a founding member. Like, I was the fourth singer.
Yeah.
The three of them, one guy played live with them once or twice maybe, but I came along and we did like recordings and did gigs and like really went at it. And then I quit. Like, I wasn't in a band a real long time.
Yeah.
But then after I got sober, the band broke up in 91. I quit in 83. The band broke up in 91, I think. And then in 98, I was sober a year and a half, almost 2 years. And I got a hold of Ismail and said, you want to play some songs again?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm feeling like I want to play some songs again.
Yeah.
And he said, well, let's call Kyle. And we called Kyle and he said no. And we went, well, I believe we have a majority here. We got a couple of other members and we went at it. And we did it, and we recorded songs, and we toured, and we went all over the place, and we played with a bunch of people, and we put out more material, and now it's 2020, so we started up again in 98. So now I think Dr. No without the original founding guitar player, and Kyle's a great guitar player, brilliant songwriter, and for some reason we can't see eye to eye. We can't share a stage. I would love nothing more than to share a stage with that guy and reunite for real, like the original group.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's going to happen.
A lot of people are get confused at what you did in Dr. No as opposed to, others.
Well, that was the thing with Mystic. When they put out the record, they did them out of order. We were on a compilation in like 82 as Dr. No, and I was singing on it. And then we were on some other compilation, like in 84. And then I quit the band. And then in 87, put out Dr. No, the original group, which nobody read the label. And that was all me, or an EP and an album. And then now, now they have a new singer? I'm like, wait a minute. I recorded that in fucking 81. And now it's out in 87. So it threw a lot of people off.
Yeah.
Even though I was the fourth singer. And then there was a guy between me and Kyle. So I was fourth, he was sixth. But he's thought of as the original singer of Dr. No. But that, even though it wasn't me, it was me on the first recordings.
Yeah.
And the first live gig in LA was me.
Yeah, okay. So hopefully that clears things up for people.
It's a little confusing.
Right.
But some people have figured it out, but I don't care. Some people like Kyle's version of Dr. No, and I don't blame him because he's a great songwriter. And if you like metal and you like thrash and you like crossover, then that's your fucking band. Because there's probably no better band that did it when they did it in their prime that was fucking amazing.
And then you took over for Jello and Dead Kennedys. That caught some people by surprise. How were those shows?
We played the same 17 songs every fucking night for 2.5 years, and I just got sick of it. I'm like, are we going to write anything new?
Yeah.
If they're great musicians, they're great. The fucking DH is phenomenal. Klaus is more talented than ever. I'm not in the band because of some disagreements, Ray and I, and Biafra was very interested to hear what those were once I quit, because he was not happy when I joined. But we used to open for Dead Kennedys in 81, 82. And my Jello's wife and my mom were friends, and I always got along with them, and I'd see them all the time and go to their gigs and hang out and shoot shit with them. And then I go and join the band that he wanted no part of since 1986, and he throws a fucking fit. Calls me a scab, like I'm prosecuting a union line, like they're the punk rock union.
Yeah.
Like, how many? Come on. Black Sabbath was Black Sabbath without Ozzy for a long time. Black Flag's had 4 or 5, if you wanted, singers. Yeah, okay, yeah, he was very much a big, image of the band.
Mm-hmm.
But
and he called you a scab. Like in the press, right? I mean, people heard that about you.
Oh, a guy from Indiana sent me death threats, and the feds came to my house, and they said, "Okay, well, this is an internet threat, and we found out that the guy got his address from the Alternative Tentacles website. So, do you want to press charges against Biafra?" I was like, "Fuck, that's all he needs is another lawsuit coming from this band."
But I mean, there's an example of him inciting, some maybe unstable people.
Well, if he wasn't inciting people, he wouldn't be Biafra. Although, oddly, he's been very quiet for the last 3.5 years. I don't know where he's been, because I've seen Guantanamo Bay School of Medicine. Phenomenal. They do Dead Kennedy songs. Holy shit, they fucking kill it. And it's so good seeing him do those songs.
Yeah.
Because I always loved the way he did that. I did not do it the way he did it.
Right.
I did my thing, and I was only in the band from 2001 to 2003. We only toured around the world like twice. So we didn't really stop touring. We played a lot of shows.
Yeah.
South America, Japan, Europe, and, we did a lot of, almost every fucking state. We did a lot of shows, and it was fun until it wasn't fun anymore. And so I quit.
All right, Brandon, I appreciate you coming on the show and talking about your life and times a bit. So it was a good time. Take care, man.
You too, man. Thank you so much for allowing me to spiel and give a voice. I hope I was able to inform a little bit about some serious stuff and entertain about some silly stuff and all that other shit in between. Really appreciate it.
All right. Take it easy.
All right, man. Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.